Alright, before you click away, let me express that there will be a lot of nuance in this video. Arcane is a Netflix original 3D animated show that is based in the world of League of Legends. It's truly fantastic. Everything about this piece of artwork is perfectly curated to be a monumental, exciting, and beautiful experience. I'll get more in depth into what I mean by this statement, but I also wanted to briefly mention that I still don't like 3D animation. No matter how wonderfully created the characters are, I just get a weird emotional distance from the people in the fictional world of Arcane. Maybe it is the fact that I am so used to 2D animation or the bright and smoothly rounded animation of something like a DreamWorks film, but man, for some reason, the Arcane people just look like clay people, and I hate it sometimes. Nothing objectively wrong with this type of animation. It's just not my preference. Let's get into the things that I liked about Arcane though. Number one is the action. Every guy loves a show with some great fight scenes, and we get plenty of that each and every episode. The first season has a lot of background to cover, so it makes sense that we don't get the best fights early on, but when season 2 hits, it is literally just a non-stop thrill ride. I think that Arcane balances storytelling and power scaling well with the actual choreography of the fighting. For example, Jinx's action sequences are incredibly well-paced and well thought out. She uses her Gatling gun, which dominates at first, but Echo and his gang seem to be able to hold her off using diverse types of technology. She obviously gets the better of many people throughout the entirety of Arcane, but it never seems like she is too overpowered or has insane plot armor. I do think that the fight scenes end sometimes with very thinly stretched believability in people's survivability. I don't like that people randomly come back from near death. It makes sense for some characters, but it ultimately dilutes the impact of plot developments because we are conditioned to believe that they might just end up being resurrected. Overall, though, the animation of these fights is simply superb. They are carefully crafted to give us suspense, but also deliver excitement, unlike any other series before. I think the usage of popular musicians and singers to make highly captivating songs just puts the scenes over the top into legendary status. The one fight that sticks out has to be Jinx versus Echo. I mean, just look at the animation seamlessly transition into a different style, effortlessly. There are few production teams that can pull this off, and this action sequence showcases the true rarity of that. The next top quality aspect of Arcane that I would like to mention is the storyline itself. These characters are so freaking morally gray, and it's awesome. There's not a true villain in the literal sense, and I love that. Everyone at times seems shady, but certain characters seem to barely edge out a victory in the sense of being the good guy. Dude, it really gets close sometimes, and the blurred lines of morality are definitely one of the most entertaining and thought-provoking parts of this show. There's something to be said about making the main character more of a villain than the hero, but also I do like Jinx's character arc as delivered. However, I feel as though I would have taken her character direction in a slightly different path. I don't think there was any real flaw in the way they handled these characters, and it shows. The third thing I would like to talk about is obviously the breakneck speed. This show had a number of developments all in one episode, and it was really addicting. I think it took me 2 days to watch all 12 hours of this series, and it was extremely fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that there was no moment of letdown. Whether that be an unexpected event, an addition of a new character, or a new creation of a piece of technology, Arcane delivered an enjoyable, binge-worthy performance. There were so many great things about this show, like the voice acting and the character designs too, but I am going to be a bit stingy on my opinion here. I didn't really like any character in particular. No one felt very relatable to me, and although every person was written to be very deep and complex, I just didn't really care if any specific one person was going to die or not. The only exceptional character was Jinx, and while she was genuinely tweaking due to her broken psyche, I was more of an admirer than a fan of hers. Her actions were that of a crazy person, so it just felt like I had no one to root for in this show. Her hijinks were fun to watch, but they didn't compel me to change my moral backing to a specific character. I was just like, oh, she blew something up. That's pretty cool, to be honest. In all seriousness though, Jinx's fractured mind was definitely an extra enjoyable part of the show. I wanted to do some spoilers for season 2, but I will not be doing that at this point. I might do an extra video in the future though. Arcane was truly a masterpiece that is objectively a 10 out of 10 in production. I personally would not say it is one of my top 10 favorite shows of all time or something, so I am going to give it a personal score of 9.1 out of 10. Extremely exciting and a spectacle to behold, but I am good with them ending things at season 2 if they choose to do so. That's kind of what it looks like. I felt like it wrapped up pretty nicely, and I would not change a single thing about this series.